Welcome, guys. Hi. Hello. Okay, our guest is here. Okay. Welcome to Aurora, guys. Today's episode is going to be about motherhood, and we're going to be talking about what it means to be a new mom. And can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure before I keep talking. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Yes, okay, good. Okay. So we're talking about motherhood, about what it means to be a new mom and what kind of struggles we all go through, and what are the things that we least expect and the things that we go through as a mom, and the discovering new things as we go. So this should be interesting. Our guest tonight is my own best friend, my sister. Her name is Makia. She'll be joining me shortly, and we'll talk about I'll ask about 5 questions where we can have a discussion. And if you guys have any questions and you have a comment, you just use the question box, and we can have a bit of question and answer at the end, where we can all have a discussion regarding your questions as well. So without further ado, Makia is here. Let's invite Makia. Please stay tuned, stay with us. And please share the live with your friends, get them to join us. Hi, Dr. Makia.
Hello.
I didn't expect the glasses, but okay. Hello.
And then you can take them off.
Am I back?
Yes, I think the connection was cutting out a bit.
Okay, sorry. Okay, welcome to Aurora.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Your background is white, which is going to make it a bit hard for us to read the comments, but we will make it work.
Can you change the background on Instagram? I can't, right? Can I
Nope,
change
you
my
can't. But it's okay. But I think we can read it off your shoulder. I'm sure everybody will
all the
figure it
rooms-
out.
Yeah, all the rooms are the same color, so there was nowhere to be but white background.
It's okay. We
I can
will
also read-
make it work.
Sure.
Okay, welcome to Aurora. Let me start again. How are
Yeah,
you?
thanks.
How is lockdown?
Yeah, it's not too bad yet. So if you ask me in the coming weeks, maybe it might be different. But so far we're doing okay.
Maybe we should I should ask this question in a month.
Maybe if they extended it after that, different answer.
Yep, maybe we will join the people that are going, demonstrations to say no more, lockdown. So yes, Sydney is going crazy. I know your area is a bit better than ours, but
Yes,
Sydney is a bit hard.
Yeah.
I'm lucky my work is not that far of my area, the 10-kilometer distance. So I fit in within that, so I can go to the office and I can drop Hiyab off. So for that purpose, I'm blessed. I think I'm lucky because a lot of people are
Yeah.
still locked at home in Sydney, where they can't go and do anything within 5 kilometers of their house.
Yeah. I think for us that's because 10 kilometer we could go a lot of places. So the fact that the town is small we could still go to the same places we go to. So it's not too much of a restriction. And because we don't have a lot of people coming from Sydney, the beaches are empty and parking is plenty. So it's not so bad.
Yeah, rub it in our face.
Sorry, but not sorry.
I know you're not sorry, but I'll just take it in. Because we're live, I'm gonna be more professional here. I'm gonna let it, let it go. Okay. So we have about 5 questions. I haven't seen the questions. I'm seeing them right now, same time as you, because the Rora team didn't want me to be prepared. So it can have that, same kind of effect that when I'm asking you the questions. So I'm gonna read the questions, so that's when I'm gonna be finding out what the questions are. So the first question they've given us is, what's your favorite part of being a mom?
Of being a mom?
Yeah.
I guess before all that, would you like me to introduce myself if there are people who don't know me?
Oh, please do.
Just in case.
Just in case. Yeah. The floor is all yours.
No, I mean, I've seen I've seen Danny, Salam, and Leah, and all of that, like people I know. But if there are people I haven't met before,
yeah.
My name is Makia. I live in Sydney, outside of Sydney, down south, around an hour out. Married and mother of one daughter, Naila. I have I've tried a number of things as career-wise. I was a journalist back home. I've done children programming Radio Fana. I have taught at preschool, and in Australia I have done IT, which is just working in financial services as a business operations specialist. But now I'm a full-time mom, studying full-time and part-time property management. So that's just me in a whole lot of
That's Maki for you guys.
That's for people who
sorry, I should have asked I should have said introduce yourself, please. Thank you for guiding me.
Yeah, we're in this together.
I know, and I think it's because I know you. Like, it's just like I'm having a conversation with someone that I know, so it's like I know you, so it doesn't matter whether everybody else knows you or not. But I'm sorry, everybody. So now that you guys know Maki, we're gonna start with what's your favorite part of being a mother?
I think it's more you have this job. I mean I do see it as a job. You have this job that you don't want to fail in, and in return all you get is just a lot of love, and you've got someone you're raising hopefully in the future that would contribute into society to be a service to humanity, right? So I think my favorite part is just nurturing that and giving it all I've got to see that grow and flourish. So that's how I see it. Just being a mother is just the greatest job, but the hardest job that you don't want to fail in. So you put in everything you've got. So I like it because it challenges me to put all I've got. So if it is a job that you go and do, it doesn't matter because there's someone who obviously going to tell you, oh, you haven't done this right, all of that. But with being a parent, it's you're going to reflect on what you're doing, and you're in charge. So I like that about being a mom more than anything.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same. The challenges of being a better self for myself. Like, it pushes me because I want her to have a role model that is someone that she looks up and say, I want to be just like my mom. So my favorite part is me waking up every morning saying, okay, what do I do today to make it better than yesterday? With all its ups and downs and with all its heartache and pain, with all of it, the love that you share with them is my favorite part, where they just come randomly, where they give you the hugs and tell you, I love you, mommy, thank you, mommy. These are just
Yeah.
random things that they do, and it's so genuine that makes you feel like, okay, I'm recharged now. I can go another day where I want to do better. I want to do something is great for her, where she's gonna grow up and be like, I don't want her to feel like, oh, my mom should have done this for me. My mom missed out by doing this on me. So every time, my favorite part of that is I make sure the love that she gives me is given back by 1,000 times more than what she's given me. So my favorite part is that, working hard into making sure she knows how much she's loved and the amount of love she gives me as well. I think that's my favorite part.
Exactly.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Also,
think,
like, she's
yeah,
able to pass it on as well, right? When you're if we say that we are created in a reflection of God, there is a number of things that, like, under his name, there's a lot of things that comes with it, and the main one is love. So if there is no love, that's just the foundation, right? There is
yeah,
truthful, there are other virtues that are foundational, but love is just the main one, because if there's no love, it can't stand still, right? You can't teach truthfulness and then there's no love. Like, it can't be
yeah,
true if there's love. So the love we give them is like, we see it them passing it on, obviously, right?
yeah,
So yeah, the best part is this, teaching her that, and hopefully in the future, and now as well, she'll become a light for someone. She learns to love others, because that's what we're lacking in the whole world at the moment. Because if there was love, true love, then,
yeah,
and the only true love is God's love, and if we can teach our children that, then we're also working on the future of the society. So I think that's the best bit, is that I can do that. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world, but at least you can change it one at a time. By our children, we teach them love, and we be that, though. We have to be that, because kids don't um, kids don't do what we say to them, they watch us. So if I love people, then that's how she's gonna be. Not because I said, oh, you have to love this and you have to love that. You have to show
yeah,
them. These children watch us, and that's what they do, not what we
that's
say.
true.
So we have to be both. So I think
Yeah,
being a mother has taught me all of that. I can't just be saying things, I have to be it.
yeah,
And you have to be mindful of that. I become more mindful of what I am doing, because she's watching, and that's what she's gonna do no matter what I'm saying. So you
yeah,
learn to be it, not just say it. I think that's also the other really
yeah.
great part of being a parent to me.
You said it beautifully. I think, my favorite part of what you said is, changing the world. It starts within us.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you do with your child is, if we do our part in raising our children in a way that we think how the world should be, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's how everybody's can do their part, and then we can make a change. So I think that is a beautiful way of you saying it. Um, really, I really love that part. And how did you navigate, when you were pregnant? I'm sure you were bombarded with so many things, people saying, oh, you know, when you have a child, do this, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
How did you navigate which advice to take on board when you were a new mom?
When I was pregnant, mostly I was enjoying being pregnant, but
Yeah.
also I was really trying to learn a lot, every step, what I have to do. And then I do take, when people tell you something, I do listen to them, but it
Mm-hmm.
only really depends on what type of family you wanted to raise and what type of family you wanted to have. So I do take their advice, but I will kind of shape it into what I want. So I will take the things that I want in my life, and the ones I
Mm-hmm.
don't want, I'll just leave it as. So I just
Yeah.
pursue the ones that I thought that were good, because there were people who were giving me, oh, you should do a calm birth class. And I was like, oh, okay, actually I could do that. So it was helpful. And then there are
Yeah.
some other people who tell you, you should book this. And then you're like, maybe not. But you just say, okay. So you don't have to feel overwhelmed, even if the information is a lot overwhelming. So you just have to choose what would work for your personality, what would work
Yeah.
for you. And if you have a partner, your partner. If you don't have a partner, just what would work for you. And what is your capacity, knowing your own capacity, because if you own your own strength and weakness, then
Yeah.
nothing else can actually affect it. You have to, if you own it, no one else can own it. If I own
Yeah.
my weakness, you can't, if you pinpoint it, it's not going to affect me because I already know my strength. So you just
Yeah.
have to work hard on your strength that you have on. And just what I did was I'm the last in the family, so I've never seen anyone have a baby in the house I grew up, because I was the
Yeah.
youngest. So I just have to teach myself, read the books that are available, attend free classes that the hospitals organize, so I know what it means to breastfeed. Or while I was pregnant, I did breastfeeding
Yeah.
classes, or just building that knowledge and knowing that it's just you. So
Yeah.
if you don't put it on others and say, okay, this is going to be me, how am
Yeah.
I going to navigate this the best? And the
Yeah.
resources are out there. You have to seek them yourself. You don't rely on other people. And you
Yeah.
can take some advice, but not all. So the way I did it was read some books on the progresses, or what do I do when the baby comes? Because my mom is not here to teach me that or to show me that, or my
Yeah.
sister is not here to look after me. So it's just me and my partner, my husband. So it was just more like, okay, what do we do? It's us, so let's just teach ourselves. We don't know this, but that's fine. We're gonna learn
Yeah.
it. So that's what I did. I did a lot of classes. We read books together, not about parenting, just about
Yeah.
being a parent. Because parenting, you have to do it after your child comes, because every child is different. There is not a book about
Yeah.
parenting that would work for your own child. So
Yeah.
we just taught what to expect, what's gonna happen to my body when after I give birth, or in the
Yeah.
process of pregnancy. So when that happens, I wasn't shocked. I was like, oh, this is why it happened. So just as much as you can read and just educate yourself. That's how I did it, because I didn't have family here. The other good thing I did was, I don't know if anyone heard of it, I got a doula. A doula is like በአማርኛ ኢትዮጵያዊ አዋላጅ ማለት ነው። ሰፈር ውስጥ የሚያዋልዱ ሰዎች I don't know ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ያለ ሰው ያውቀው ይሆናል. You will know it. አዋላጅ, it's called. They call them doula here, DULA. So what they do is just literally what awalaj will do. They will come home while you're pregnant, they will assess you, and then when you go into labor, you call them, they come. And they will either help you around the house, they take you to the hospital, they will stay with you the whole time.
Yeah.
So if you know you don't have support, I looked into that, and then I hired someone to actually come help me until I gave birth. She was there for the whole time I was in labor and give birth. So you just have to see your life situation and say, okay, how do I get help? And how, the resources are out there. So it's just educating yourself and talking to people, even if you don't take their advice, but at least there will be positive advice you'll get from people. That's how I went with it.
It's funny with this question. I think we both have a different kind of experience with the pregnancy. You were open to it and you did your own research. Me, I just went blind with everything. I wasn't aware, but I think the difference between me and you is I was the firstborn, so I've seen my younger siblings being born, and
Yeah.
I took part in raising them as well. So I had a bit of an experience besides, carrying them. I had a bit of an experience looking after little ones.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I had to go through was the pregnancy stage. You know what I mean? But the amount of advice people give you, oh, get up, go for a walk, go do this, go do that. For me, it was too much. I'm like, I'm the one who's carrying the baby, and I'm the one who's listening to my body. You know what I mean? And it can be a bit too much, like especially
Yeah.
when you're pregnant and you don't know, it's your first pregnancy and you don't know what you're going through, and everyone is going to comment on it. Oh, you shouldn't sit this way. Oh, you shouldn't act this way. Oh, you should wear this. You should do this. Oh, and especially when the amount of advice they give you on how to become a parent, this is how you should do to be a parent. I'm like, let me figure it out. I think I was a bit away from everybody when I was pregnant. I was a bit, my pregnancy was a bit hard because I was, mentally, I wasn't okay. So I was shut down from the world. I will go to work, I'll come home, I'll sleep, and I'll get up, I'll go to work, come back. So I was very, very quiet. My pregnancy, I was healthy, no morning sickness, no nothing. But the fact that I didn't want to have conversation with one-on-one with one person, with someone, that made me stay away from everybody, like block the world. It's just like me and my pregnancy. Do you know what I mean? So that helped me from not hearing too much, because a lot of people didn't feel comfortable to talk to me because I was kind of that mean face that I don't want to talk to you, don't talk to me kind of attitude. My advice came through after I gave birth. So everybody's like, oh, hold her this way, feed her this way. It's all that thing. And I'm like, yep. I wanted to figure it out for myself. I didn't want a book to tell me. I didn't want somebody to tell me. I wanted to learn it. I want to go through the process and educate myself as I go through it.
Yeah.
And I think the way you did it, a lot of people do it. They read books and be prepared mentally on how to expect with your body change, what you feel and everything. I had no clue. I didn't go to any of the classes. I went to a birthing class for my sister when she was pregnant. That's the only time I've been into a room where they teach pregnant women on how to be, how to deal with situations. When I was pregnant, I didn't do that. And that did it change the way I was when I was in the delivery room? Not really. A lot of situations, everything happens in its own course. You know what I mean? Not knowing what to expect going into the delivery room. I was a bit nervous. I was a bit anxious, but at the same time, I was okay. The advices for me was given after. Before, I wasn't given any. So it didn't affect the way I saw being a mother.
Yeah.
So those advices, I think, will just go in one ear and go out through the other. That's how I dealt with them.
I think it's also different to, again, as I said, different to like your social group or the people who are around you. I had very small circle, and I have very limited Ethiopian people around me when I was pregnant. I could just literally Salome, my best friend, and her brother. That's it. Mostly her, actually. And and then my husband's family, which are white. So all of those comments that you said are not given, thank goodness. No one will say anything to you how you should have your birth or what you should do. And so I was lucky in that sense. I didn't experience any of those things. So I was given advice as in a way, oh, you should try this and try that, or you can have this book from me and this and that, but not really like a specific instruction kind of advice I wasn't given. So I was kind of lucky enough. I didn't have to hustle or to say, oh, I don't want this, I want this. It was just like my decision. So I didn't
Yeah.
have that. And even after giving birth, and when we came home, you know, the family has given me 2-3 days to bond with my baby. No one actually came to see us. So I had that time to bond with her either, and no one told me how to hold her and, you know, what to dress her, even to dress her. So yeah, I was given that opportunity to do it my way, because I can understand from in our culture, it's you get like, you can't do much with your own baby, it feels, in a way. When I go to some people's house and visit, and I remember actually my friend's dad came, the one Ethiopian, came to visit us after a week or so. Kim was holding Nile in his hand upside down, like her face was on his palm, and she was sleeping like that. And the dad nearly had a heart attack. You can't hold a little baby like that. You're going to break her. And then we were like, we've been holding that the whole time.
Yeah.
So I can understand, like, he was uncomfortable. Kim actually had to put her down. Yeah. Like, because to make the person comfortable, because he was like, you can't hold her like that. You're going to break her. She's cold in that clothes. I know what you mean. I experienced it once, but I was just like, she's fine. He's fine. He's been holding her like that. The fact that, like, I'm okay also to say, I'm actually okay to say, no, sorry, this is how we're doing it. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna do it my way. Like, I'm okay if people didn't like it that way. So, but I didn't have too many of them for that. Yeah. So, but I can totally understand, especially in our culture, there is that everyone trying to tell you the best way to do it, and don't hold it, or, you know, hold it this way, or, and I can totally understand, as a new parent, it would be very challenging. Yeah. You don't even have time to bond with your baby and to learn what the baby signs, or, you know, all of those things. So I was lucky in that regard. I didn't have those things, and I just taught myself on what to do, and I knew it was just me, and I don't have anyone else, so me and him. So we kind of worked that out, so it wasn't too bad for us.
Yeah, I think given the fact that your personality is a kind of personality that will tell you off, it's like it'll tell you, listen, this is my way, you don't like it, hit the highway kind of thing, personality. So I think you would have handled it perfectly. For me, I think in a nice way, obviously. But what I'm saying is, like, for me, it's like, people will say, because I don't want them to think that, oh, you know, they want to say that 1 cent, you know, opinion of theirs they want to say about, you know, how to be a mom. I'm like, yeah, okay. Let them just say whatever they want to say. I'm not going to take it, but they get that satisfaction saying, oh, you know, I've given that my 1 cent opinion about, you know, about how to tell her how to be a mom. So I would take it that way. So yeah, well, very interesting.
On how many times are they saying it? If those people, you see them once and they say that, then that's okay. But if these people are actually in your circle and gonna be around, you have to set that boundary at the beginning. That's just my opinion. You have to let them know, because then it's gonna bother you if it is just a one-off visiting you and they made a suggestion. That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. But if those people are gonna be around and they're very close to you, then they need to know the boundary. At the end of the day, you are the parent. So no, thank you. But this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm okay to say that, personally.
Yeah. Gifty said, even before having a baby, I have been given instructions how to be raising my future baby, and I do not like it. Yep. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like people will comment on how you should raise your future baby. You haven't even hold it yet, but they think, you know, to make you prepared, you know, how you should hold the baby, how you should act. So you know.
Mm. You will learn when the
Um,
baby comes, really. Like it's your own, does Gifty
yeah,
have a baby? Not yet.
not yet, not
She
yet.
doesn't.
She is
Yeah.
about to, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. It's like literally the baby will teach you. That's the best advice. Like the baby will
Yep,
teach you how they want to be held, because if you hold them the certain way, they're gonna cry and complain. So you're like, oh no, okay, they don't like this one. I'm gonna try this one. So the baby actually will guide you. So that's why the bonding period is like so important, and you need to avoid those people, you know, being too much around you, because then you bond with the baby and the baby will teach you how they want to be held and how they want to
yep,
sleep and all of that, and what would work for you and for your partner. Like you know,
exactly,
as an
yeah.
example, like I Nyla never slept with us in the bedroom, and a lot of people were like, oh, do you put the little baby into a different room? I'm like, yes, because I had to know what is also best for me, because I'm very light sleeper and I can hear a lot of movement. So before she
Yeah,
was born, Kim and I talked about it, and the best decision for her and for us to have a good sleep was to put her into a different room from the day we got home. And that's what we did. So whatever
yeah.
works for you is okay. And if people have an issue with it, too bad, really.
Yep,
So
too bad.
too bad.
Speaking about learning through the process of you know, with going learning from with the process of being a mom, you know, um,
Mm.
what is it that one thing that you wish you learned before you became a mom? Something that you wish you learned earlier, no?
Hmm. About being a mom or how to raise the child?
About
Is it?
being a mom, like in general, what, for example, for me, I will answer the question first. I will go first
Mm-hmm.
so you understand
Mm-hmm.
what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I wish I knew about postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I
Okay.
knew the struggle and the pain, and I never heard of it. I never knew
Mm.
nothing until he was 2.
Mm.
So I
Okay.
didn't even know I had it until 2 years after.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
I
struggled 2 years by myself with that, without
yeah.
not knowing that this kind of things can happen to a new mom.
Mm.
So I wish I
Yeah.
learned about this. I wish I knew. I wish someone that went through it spoke up around me. But I
Mm.
don't think anyone that is around me understands that pain or that postpart postpartum depression. I don't think they know that it exists. We all just take it as being, oh, she's just tired. She's just been a new mom kind of thing. And
Mm.
that's how I took it. I never knew.
Mm.
I never understood. And having my own personal issue, things that I was dealing with personally, and being
Mm.
as a new mom and having that depression in my mind,
Mm.
it was too much to deal. It was too much to cope. There are things that now I revisit, I go back and I'd be like, oh, I don't remember that.
Mm. Yeah,
Because
okay, I
those
got
times
what
are
you're saying.
blank in my mind. Do you know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
got.
So that's something
Yeah.
that I wish I learned before I was a mom.
Okay, so yeah, I knew about postpartum depression. I knew about the
Yeah.
symptoms, and yeah, I've done the courses and the reading and stuff like that. So I was aware of what those feelings are like prior
Yeah.
to giving birth. Um, so the other step I took for that purpose was we had so the doula who came to assist me, I don't know if people are aware of it, but you can use the placenta to assist with stuff like this. So the placenta is like a very, like, it's a superfood that kept your baby for the whole of 9 months in your body to keep it alive. So it's filled with a lot of nutrients and a lot of hormonal good hormones, good stuff. So you could use it in different ways. So whichever you feel comfortable with. The way we went with it was they make homeopathic drops from it. So they take it, they humidify it, they dried it, and it will be grounded, and it will be that they use the energy of it as a drop. So it could be for the mom and it could be for the baby. So taking that from, the first week or so, the doula took it, prepared it, and brought it back to me, and I used that to help not to experience postpartum depression. So if you're looking at the data, there are like 1 in every 7 women in Australia every year experience postpartum depression. Wow. That's quite high in number. So yeah. I did need to answer your question. I did know about these things. So there's nothing like one thing I could put as in being a mom that I didn't know, I guess, because Kim's sisters also, all the 3 of them had babies, and I was blessed in that was given advices and things that worked for me, and I was aware of those things. I was aware of what my body will go through and what I should do, and all of that. So I don't have that one thing that I will say I wish I knew, as in when it comes to just being pregnant and having the baby. But definitely postpartum depression is like one of the, just like, it's quite big actually. From the mothers group I go to, a number of them was diagnosed with it because they just didn't know what they were feeling. So if there are new moms in this group or moms to be in the future, I think just to look out for the signs. So every mom will experience this baby blue, they call it, but that shouldn't last very long time. So after you come home, the next 2-3 days, you're going to experience that because you have hormones that will drop. So you're going to experience being moody, unhappy, sad. All of those things are normal. Yeah. But if they last long time, if they last more than a month, and if they last for the whole first year, then you definitely need to look into get some help. And it doesn't have to be like medicated help, but just recognizing it and acknowledging the symptoms that you're feeling is okay. Other people are feeling it too. You might feel disconnected with your child. You might feel like, that's it, my life is over now. What do I do? What do I do with this baby? Am I good enough for this baby? All of these things, you could feel it. It's normal for a short period of time, but if it continues, then either you seek help with people close to you if you have a community. If not, you just seek professional help. But don't isolate yourself. So I'm sure anyone in Australia who give birth, there are mothers group. I can't talk enough about them. It's so important. Every council will have them. Attend those group sessions. They're every week, and you can talk about all the little things you think other people don't want to hear about, because those people are in the same page with you. So that is really helpful for any new mom. So look it up in your area for mothers group, and there are the same women going through the same thing. And by the way, postpartum depression is not only for moms, dads go through it too. So if there are any men in this group in the future become a parent or is a parent, that you could go through it too. If you feel disconnected with your child and not bonding, or are you good enough for this child, or is this too much responsibility, or things like that, that you feel, if it's keep going, then seek help, definitely. And there's no shame on feeling a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's something that we, I don't know, for me, as for someone that goes through it, that went through it actually, not knowing that I was going through that depression moment for 2 years. It wasn't a year, it was 2 years. There was a moment that I was breastfeeding here. I woke up. It's like I woke up from a sleep. Next thing I know, I have a baby in my arm. Mine just was close to 2 years. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's kind of like I missed out the 2 years of her life. I was there, but I wasn't present mentally. I think I was
Mm.
disconnected from the reality and everything because that's what
Mm.
depression does to you. And
Mm.
even if anybody saw me or spoke to me, they just took it as she's acting up, or she just because you're a mother, you know you can't get along with you, or I can't talk to you, you're just so hard to talk to, kind of thing. So everybody took it personally, the way I was
Mm.
acting, but I didn't even know
Mm.
what was going on with me. And
Mm.
now that I am out of it, and when I go back, when I revisit those moments, and when I talk to my sister, I'm like, oh, I don't even know. I don't even remember saying those things. I don't even remember acting those things. So it is
Mm.
really, really, really something that is taken very lightly, and we
Yeah.
don't address it, and we don't ask new moms on how they're feeling, or even taking the baby, saying, go sleep. I'll look after her for an hour. Take a nap.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or just for the new mom to have a moment for herself, because the whole world is changing around her, and now she's got this little human being in her arm that she has to take care of. It is
Yeah.
relying on her, and not feeling okay within yourself, within inside of you, and
Mm.
that can create people to leave you alone, to be
Mm.
pushed away, not even knowing that you're doing it purposely. They think you just
Yeah.
uh, changed and they don't want to be friends anymore with you. And that adds up to the
Yeah.
situation that you are in, because you are isolated, you are by yourself, and you
Mm.
don't know what you're going through. And all of a sudden, you are alone with a baby, you have no one to
Yeah.
talk to,
Yeah.
and no one that can understand what you're going through. And that
Mm.
feeling,
Yeah.
for me, being as a single mom as well, you had someone. If you
Yeah.
were tired, he can take her and be like, go take a nap,
Mhm.
I'll hold her, or vice versa. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
for single moms, especially that don't have their partners with them, is the hardest situation if they don't have a support system that can understand those things and
Yeah.
connect those dots and say, you know what, take a rest, let me take care of your baby. That is
Yeah.
something that I want to create awareness and talk to people, and so they can talk about it, make it
Yeah.
normalized. It's just normal.
Definitely.
Everyone goes through it. It's part of the process. If you
Yeah.
don't go through it, you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you go through it, it's okay. It's normal. Everyone goes through it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Right. That's
the
what I was
fact that
saying
you
with
said even men
motherhood.
go through it, yeah.
Yes. It's so
And
important to have that, like, relate to, like, you can relate to them, because as you said, the isolation is real. Even if you don't have it, even if you don't have the depression afterwards, like, just having a baby, you're automatically isolated from, like, friends who don't have children, because they assume you're always busy, even if you're not. You're not
yeah,
invited to outings because they assume you can't go out, even if you could.
yes,
So I think what the awareness need to be there. And then, so for me, after that, what I did was then I start reaching out, because I learned from myself how isolating it can be. So when there is a new mom, you reach out and you just make sure,
yeah,
even if they let them say they can't do, but without assumption. So there's the problem with a lot of mental health is we assume when you're acting out, like, oh, she's acting out, because we're assuming you're acting out. We're not asking, how are you feeling actually about it?
yeah,
So a lot of judgment passed on. So
yeah,
that's why, if your own circle is not understanding, you seek help elsewhere. You go to a
yeah,
different circle, and someone who can relate on what
yeah,
you're going through. So I think finding that safe place, it could be anywhere, it doesn't have to be family. We always think it has to be family, and when family is not working out, we freak out. But it doesn't have to be family. It can be
yeah,
elsewhere. You can find that support elsewhere. So I think leaving it open and reaching out to people. I think a family friend once, when I had Nyla, the best thing she said was she brought me a gift after giving birth. And I was quite surprised because everyone who comes was bringing gift for Nyla. And I asked her, why do you
Yeah.
bring me a gift? And then she said, Nyla doesn't need gift. Nyla needs you. So we need to look after you so you can be there for her. So that
Wow.
really taught me a thing. And since I had Nyla, when we visit people who have babies, I buy gift for the mom and the child. You can buy if you like, but mostly for the mom, because you need the mom to be looked after at that time. The baby, all they
Yes.
need is the mom and
Yeah.
milk, really, milk and clean
Wow.
napkin. So we just have to be aware in ourselves and moving forward, just reaching
Yeah.
out to new moms and just asking if they're okay, and
Yeah.
less judgment, obviously, an assumption towards them on how they parent or how they are or all of that, because we don't know what they're going through, really.
Yeah. I think what I do when I see a new mom, there's no one around me at the moment, but what I used to do is saying if you ever need a break, like, I want them to know they have that help. Not
Yeah.
because a lot of people feel like it's too much to ask for someone to hold my baby to take a
Mm,
break. Um,
mm,
but I want to offer that to anybody that is a new mom because
mm.
I wish I had people around me, but they never said, let me take her and go because they always assumed I was too obsessed and I was holding her too much. But
Mm.
I wish they said, I'll hold her, go.
Yeah.
Instead of me asking it, I wish they
Yeah.
say, I'm here, give me the baby, go.
Yes. The
You know what
help
I
should be
mean? So,
offered. Yeah. The help should be
yes.
offered. Yeah.
Yeah. So because of that feeling that I went through, I try and offer that help to people. Like whenever you need it, I'm here. Whenever you want to go somewhere, you want to take a break, or you want to go out for dinner or do anything, I'm here. I'm more than happy to hold you, baby. I offer
Yeah.
that for new moms now. That
Yeah.
if there's no one around at the moment, but if there's whenever I see someone, that's what I do because of the experiences that I went through. So, yep. And one of the things that you mentioned was about uh, the partner, the man, go through the same postpartum depression. And
Yes.
we had a comment, someone saying it makes sense that her brother is not bonding with his child. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the times we take it as the father not liking or not accepting their child. We don't
Mm.
even think that they're finding it so hard to connect because of all that process thing that they have to go through. We don't
Yeah.
even know. As the
Mm.
Habesha community, especially, they don't know. I'm sure the other communities would, excuse me, would read books and will be aware of it. But I don't think a lot of people know. Don't know. You saw him. He said, "Wow," because he wasn't aware. Men can actually go through that depression, not just a
Yeah.
woman. So
You're right. This white background, I can't see much comments.
yeah, yep,
Some comments I can. Yeah, but yeah, they do definitely, but they go through it differently a little bit because theirs is not affected by hormones, obviously, but a life change, anything in life when suddenly it changes, it's not the same, right? When you have that child, so they will definitely go through it. And if they don't have that support, and sometimes that's why it takes them a little bit longer to bond with their kids.
yeah,
And also they're not, especially in our culture, I mean, it's not actually in our culture only. Mental health, the stigma in mental health is in every culture. Maybe in ours it's more not even looked at, but even in other cultures it's not seen as real as it is. But definitely men experience it as well, and they struggle to bond with their children. Or they, like, are they providing enough, are they doing enough for that family? Because men in
yeah.
nature, they are providers. So definitely they will go through it. And we have
Yes.
to
And
we have to view it and see it.
yep. Kim just said one-on-one quiet time for a father and child is really important to connect. Yeah.
Yes,
I think that will
definitely.
force them to connect without
Yes,
someone telling him, do this, hold her this way, say this, say that. Just let him
yes,
figure it out for himself
yes,
for that moment.
yes.
That
Like,
will break the fear. I think it's the fear. Most of
yeah,
the men
also
that
the
go through it.
expectation. Like I have a friend who, when her baby was born, she just didn't like anything how the dad was parenting. Like, she didn't let him hold the baby. She thinks he's gonna
Wow.
hurt him. She thinks he's gonna drop him. I don't like how he's holding him. So when she had, because we were very close, she had the conversation with me. I was like, what are you doing? You need,
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I never let him bath the baby. And then the dad on the side is feeling so disconnected, was going through it, not feeling connected to the child. He doesn't think the baby loves him because every time he holds him, the baby cries because the mom
Yeah.
doesn't let him spend time. So I had to have a full on open 101. I'm like, he's as much needed as you are. He's half of him. So he can parent, but he's going to do it in his own way. It's going to be
Yeah.
different. And the baby is going to be okay. Because he will have that type of bonding with him. He will have a different type of bonding with you. And it doesn't have to be the same. Disciplining is
Yeah.
different. But when they're a baby, when it comes to bonding, the
Yeah.
dad have his own way of bonding and the mom have different one. So it can't be the same. But when it comes to discipline, you have to be in the same page. But when it's bonding, they all have different ways. So I had to have that conversation with her. You need to let him bath the baby.
Yeah.
And when he comes from work, like with Kim, what I did was, when he comes from work, I just give him Nyla and I do my thing. He will do the bathing, feeding the dinner, reading books, putting her to sleep. So he had the whole night bonding time, and that's there. He has to figure it out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So you have to allow them to have that bonding time, and it doesn't have to be the same as yours. It's not gonna
Yeah.
affect anything. They have to
Yeah.
find a way to do it. So that way, I know my friend, that helped a bit for her to think, oh, is it normal? They don't do it the same as
Yeah.
us. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's not gonna be the same. It might look
Yeah.
rough the way he's holding it, or you might think he's not
Yeah.
caring enough in the bath, but he's the parent too, and he has the right to bond, to be allowed to bond with their children. So if the mums in our group in the chat now just allow the partners to bond with their
Yeah.
children, they're not going to hurt their children. They will be okay, and they just bonded their own way, and it's a break for you as well. Then
Yeah.
you get time for yourself. But if you're saying you want to do everything, it's not going to it's not going to work.
Yep. I think it's gonna like well, I didn't have a partner, so I didn't have to deal with that part of it. But if I was to have a partner with me raising that child when I was a new mom, I think I would have had it really hard because I'm the kind of person that says, no, I'm doing everything by myself. I don't need
Mm,
help. And that is a
mm,
personality that I have that I find it hard to ask for help. And even when help is being offered, I'm like, no, thank you, straight away.
mm,
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think
yeah,
I have to, now I'm better. I ask for help. I ask and I talk about what I'm feeling and how I want things to be. I've
yeah.
changed a lot, because of obviously how I want her to be, like open and
Mm,
like in the talking about asking for
mm,
help, especially. So I think for single mom, as a single mom, I didn't struggle because I didn't have a partner. But if I had a partner, I think, as you said now, I would have struggled. I would
I
have
would
done. I would have
I
said
would have stepped in as
only
well.
me, only me.
I would have stepped in though. I'd be like, Nessie, no, that's not how you let him.
I know, I
Yeah,
know.
no, if help
Um,
is offered, take it as a new mom. If you don't feel like asking, I didn't ask a lot of help myself. I knew I could do it myself. That's how I put my mind to it. But if
yeah,
help is offered, take the help.
yeah. Take it, take
Yeah,
it,
take it.
take it. I'm telling you guys, when help is being offered, take it. Don't say it's okay. I'm good, thank you. No, take it.
Yeah, it's all good. It
Um,
doesn't show weakness. That's the reason is that we see it as weakness. We don't want to look like we're struggling and we got this.
yeah,
But it's okay if help is offered as a new mom. If someone says, I'm going to cook and bring you food, say, okay, thanks. If they
yeah,
say, do you want to have a sleep? I'll look after the baby. I'll come to your house and look after the baby. Let them do it. I mean, they don't have
yeah.
to take the baby, but they can look after the baby at your own house. You can have a sleep. Just take the help that is offered.
Yes, take it. Is all I'm gonna say. I've got nothing more to say to that. Take the offer.
Yeah.
Speaking of um you as a person, your personality, for example, as I said, I am the kind of person that says, I don't need help, I can do it. Do you think being a mom, um, can you separate the connection that, like, can you separate the Maki you are and there's the mom Maki? Do you think you are disconnected from yourself as a mom, or do you think you're still connected as an individual, as a Maki to yourself?
It kind of really merged into one because you kind of stop remembering who you were before you have a baby.
Mm,
If that means like you kind of become just the mom,
yeah,
especially in that young age.
yeah,
That, but still you have to always remember as well, remember yourself and don't lose yourself in it. That's important, but it's very
yeah,
hard to do, very hard to do, because you kind of, that's just really your job and you are a mom, but sometimes you do feel like, oh, where am I now, like it's just everything is about the child. So just find something for yourself that's gonna make you feel like when you're not a mom, like
mm,
before the baby. So that could be just going out. I know it's very hard, but just seeing other people or your friends before you have the baby. Just keep
yeah.
some things normal. Keep some things normal, and just
I've got sorry,
find
Mikey. I've got 20.
yeah.
It's telling me I've got 20 seconds remaining. We'll
Oh,
come back and continue and
sure.
finish it. I
Okay.
don't know, maybe because I don't have much followers, it's not allowing me to stay for 4 hours, but we'll come back. Stay tuned.